This LOS is determine and describe break-even and shutdown points of production. Break-even and shutdown analysis. The break-even point is the quantity produced at which all costs are covered. Under perfect competition, the break-even point is the quantity of production at which the price, average return, and marginal revenue are equal to average total cost. It's the quantity at which the total revenue equals total cost, okay? The shutdown point is the quantity produced at which the average revenue is less than the average variable cost. So the quantity at which the average revenue is less than the average variable cost. At shutdown, the firm must pay fixed costs but stops production because it cannot cover its variable costs. If you're not covering your variable costs, you shouldn't be producing anything. Okay, so here's a little graphic. On the first column, we've got the revenue-cost relationship. Middle column, short-run decision, and the final column, third column, the long-run decision. So when your total revenue is greater or equal than your total cost, you're going to stay in the market in the short term. You're going to stay in the market in the long term. However, when your total revenue is greater than your total variable cost, but your total revenue is less than your total fixed cost plus your total variable cost, in the short term, you're going to stay in the market, but in the long term, you're going to exit the market. And if your total revenue is less than your total variable cost, you're going to shut production to zero and in the short run, and you're going to exit the market in the long run. We're just going to finish this LOS with a nice to know, not a need to know. The slide was talking about the break-even where the company is covering all of its costs, okay? So I just want to flash forward to the corporate finance section, one of the corporate finance readings. There is a LOS which is calculate and interpret the operating break-even quantity of sales, and LOS to calculate the break-even quantity of sales and determine the company's net income at various sales levels, okay? So you can see in some cases the economics is related to other points in the throughout the CFA program. So just a quick flash forward there, the break-even number of units. The operating break-even is the one that we're familiar with, fixed cost divided by the contribution margin per unit. And the break-even number of units is the fixed cost plus the fixed financing cost divided by the contribution margin per unit, okay? Again, this is a nice to know, not a need to know, but I just wanted to throw that in. That is with regards to break-even, you're going to see more of it later on in corporate finance. And that's the last slide for this LOS. Thank you.